A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Chapter 51. When it got too cold to go walking, Francie enrolled in 2 evening classes at the settlement house, sewing and dancing. She learned to decode paper patterns and to run a sewing machine. In time, she hoped to be able to make her own clothes. She learned ballroom dancing, although neither she or her partners ever expected to set foot in something called a ballroom. Sometimes her partner was one of the brilliantine-haired neighborhood sheiks who was a snappy dancer and made her watch her steps. Sometimes he was a little boy of 14 in knee pants, and she made him watch his steps. She loved dancing and took to it instinctively. And that year began to draw to a close. "What's that book you're studying, Francie?" "That's Neely's geometry book." "What's geometry?" "Something you have to pass to get into college, Mama." "Well, don't sit up too late." "What news do you bring me of my mother and sisters?" Katie asked the insurance collector. "Well, for one thing, I just insured your sister's babies, Sarah and Stephen." "But she's had them insured since birth, a nickel-week a policy." "This is a different policy, endowment." "What does that mean?" "They don't have to die to collect. They get $1,000 each when they're 18. It's insurance to get them through college." "Oh my, first a doctor and a hospital to give birth, then college insurance. What next?" "Any mail, Mama?" asked Francie as usual when she got home from work. "No, just a card from Evie." "What does she say?" "Nothing, except they've got to move again on account of Willie's drumming." "Where are they moving now?" "Evie found a 1-family house in Cypress Hills. I wonder whether that's in Brooklyn." "It's out east New York way, where Brooklyn changes into Queens. It's around Crescent Street, that last stop on the Broadway L. I mean, it used to be the last stop until they extended the L to Jamaica." Mary Romilly lay in her narrow white bed. A crucifix stood on the bare wall above her head. Her 3 daughters and Francie, her eldest granddaughter, stood by her bed. "Aye, I'm 85 now, and I feel that this is my last time of sickness. I wait for death with the courage I gained from living. I will not speak falsely and say to you, do not grieve for me when I go. I have loved my children and tried to be a good mother, and it is right that my children grieve for me. But let your grief be gentle and brief, and let resignation creep into it. Know that I shall be happy. I shall see face to face the great saints I have loved all my life." Francie showed the snapshots to a group of girls in the recreation room. "This is Annie Laurie, my baby sister. She's only 18 months old, but she runs all over the place, and you ought to hear her talk. She's cute. This is my brother Cornelius. He's going to be a doctor. He's cute. This is my mother. She's cute and so young-looking. And this is me on the roof. The roof's cute. I'm cute," said Francie with mock belligerence. "We're all cute," the girls laughed. "Our supervisor's cute, the old wagon. I hope she chokes." They laughed and laughed. "What are we all laughing at?" asked Francie. "Nothing." They laughed harder. "Send Francie. The last time I asked for sauerkraut, he chased me out of the store," complained Neely. "You've got to ask for Liberty cabbage now, you dope," said Francie. "Don't call each other names," chided Katie absent-mindedly. "Did you know they changed Hamburg Avenue to Wilson Avenue?" asked Francie. "War makes people do funny things," sighed Katie. "You going to tell Mama?" asked Neely apprehensively. "No, but you're too young to go out with that kind of girl. They say she's wild," said Francie. "Who wants a tame girl?" "I wouldn't care, only that you don't know anything at all about, well, sex." "I know more than you, anyhow." He put his hand on his hip and squealed in a lisping falsetto. "Oh, Mama, will I have a baby if a man just kisses me? Will I, Mama, will I?" "Neely, you listened that day." "Sure, I was right outside in the hall and heard every word." "Of all the low things. You listened too. Many's the time I caught you when Mama and Sissy or Aunt Evie were talking and you were supposed to be asleep in bed." "That's different. I have to find out things." "Check." Francie, it's 7 o'clock. Get up." "What for?" "You've got to be at work at 8:30. "Tell me something new, Mama." "You're 16 years old today." "Tell me something new. I've been 16 for 2 years now." "You'll have to be 16 for another year, then." "I'll probably be 16 all my life." "I wouldn't be surprised." "I wasn't snooping," said Katie indignantly. I needed another nickel for the gas, man, and I thought you wouldn't care. You look in my pocketbook for change many a time." "That's different," said Francie. Katy held a small violet box in her hand. There were scented gold-tipped cigarettes in it. One was missing from the full box. "Well, now you know the worst," said Francie. "I smoked a Milo cigarette." "They smell nice," said Katy. "Go ahead, Mama, give me the lecture and get it over with. With so many soldiers dying in France and all, the world's not going to fall apart if you smoke a cigarette once in a while." "Gee, Mama, you take all the fun out of things. Like not objecting to my black lace pants last year. Well, throw the cigarettes away." "I'll do no such thing. I'll scatter them in my bureau drawer. They'll make my nightgown smell nice." "I was thinking," said Katy, "that instead of buying each other Christmas presents this year, that we could put all the money together and buy a roasting chicken and a big cake from the bakery and a pound of good coffee and—" "We have enough money for food," protested Francie. "We don't have to use our Christmas money." "I mean to give to the Tinmore girls for Christmas. No one takes lessons from them now. People say they're behind the times. They don't have enough to eat, and Miss Lizzie's been so good to us." "Well, all right," consented Francie, not very enthusiastically. "Gee," Neely kicked a table leg viciously. "Don't worry, Neely," laughed Francie. "You'll get a present. I'll buy you fawn-colored spats this year." "Ah, shut up." "Don't say shut up to each other," chided Katy absent-mindedly. "I want to ask your advice, Mama. There was this boy I met in summer school. He said he might write, but he never has. I want to know would it look forward if I sent him a Christmas card." "Forward? Nonsense. Send the card if you feel like it. I hate all those flirty-birdy games that women make up. Life's too short. If you ever find a man you love, don't waste time hanging your head and simpering. Go right up to him and say, 'I love you.' How about getting married? That is," she added hastily with an apprehensive look at her daughter, "when you're old enough to know your own mind." "I'll send the card," decided Francie. "Mama, we decided, Neely and I, that we'd like coffee instead of milk punch." "All right." Katy put the brandy bottle back in the cupboard. "And make the coffee very strong and hot, and fill the cups with half coffee, half hot milk, and we'll toast in 1918 café au lait." "S'il vous plaît," put in Neely. "Oui, oui, oui," said Mama. "I know some French, too." Katy held up the coffee pot in one hand and the saucepan of hot milk in the other, and poured both into cups simultaneously. "I remember," she said, "when there was no milk in the house, your father put a lump of butter in his coffee. If we had butter. He said that butter was cream in the first place and was just as good in coffee." "Papa,"